Below is a clear, structured comparison explaining why many African states did not follow the same post-colonial trajectory as countries like the USA, Singapore, or South Korea, without blaming Africans, but by examining systems, timing, and global power dynamics. 1. How colonization ended. Exit versus extraction. Non-African colonies, e.g. United States of America, India, Singapore. Colonial powers built governing institutions before leaving. Power transfer was gradual, with trained local elites. Economies had internal value chains, manufacturing, services, trade. Many African states. Colonial exit was abrupt and defensive. Institutions were designed for control and extraction, not development. Independence often came without economic sovereignty. Result: political freedom without economic control. 2. Borders and identity. Organic versus artificial states. Outside Africa, borders often aligned with history, language, or shared identity. Nation-building happened before or alongside independence. In Africa, borders were drawn in Europe, Berlin Conference logic. One country often contains dozens or hundreds of ethnic groups. This fueled internal competition, not collective development. Result: energy spent managing internal fractures instead of building systems. 3. Leadership transition. Builders versus gatekeepers. Successful post-colonial states. Early leaders focused on education, industrialization, export competitiveness. Leadership turnover became institutional, not personal. Many African states. Early leaders inherited colonial command structures. Power became personalized, not institutional. Military coups were often externally tolerated or supported during the Cold War. Result: states revolved around leaders, not systems. 4. Cold War and foreign interference. Asia and the West. Countries like South Korea received massive rebuilding investment. Development was encouraged to counter ideological rivals. Africa became a proxy battleground. Democratic experiments were often crushed if they threatened foreign interests. Resource control mattered more than governance quality. Institutions like the International Monetary Fund and World Bank later imposed austerity, currency devaluation, reduced public investment. Result: long-term development sacrificed for short-term stability and debt repayment. 5. Economic structure. Makers versus raw material suppliers. Countries that surpassed their colonizers. Export finished products. Control technology and branding. Move up the value chain. Many African economies. Export raw materials, oil, cocoa, gold. Import finished goods at higher prices. Local industries were undermined, not protected. Result: growth without wealth retention. 6. Language as access, not just identity. Many successful post-colonial states mastered the colonial language strategically, used it for science, diplomacy, trade, and technology. Invested heavily in STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In simple terms, it means the country chose to train problem solvers, inventors, engineers, doctors, programmers, and scientists instead of focusing only on politics, theory, or rote learning, creating people who remember answers, not people who solve problems. Just memorizing information through repetition without truly understanding it. In Africa, colonial languages became symbols of class, not tools of mass empowerment. Indigenous languages were marginalized without being industrialized. Result: knowledge gatekeeping instead of knowledge diffusion. 7. Unity of purpose. Outside Africa, shared national goal. We must catch up and overtake. Failure was treated as a temporary setback. In Africa, youth agitation is often framed as disrespect. Critical voices are suppressed rather than integrated. The state fears its people more than stagnation. Result: lost decades of innovation and reform. 8. But the story is not finished. Africa's challenges are structural, not genetic. The same continent now has the youngest population on Earth, digital leapfrogging, continental frameworks like the African Union and AFCFTA. What made others succeed is learnable. Final truth for your broader narrative. Africa did not fail. Africa was interrupted, constrained, and misaligned. What was delayed can still be delivered, with knowledge, unity, and courage.